The civil war in Colombia has claimed countless casualties and displaced persons in recent decades. After years of negotiations, a peace agreement between the rebel militia FARC and the Colombian government was agreed in 2016. Almost 9,000 weapons had to be collected and made unusable, and the former fighters integrated back into society. The peace process is of the utmost importance for the entire region. It contributes to a political stabilization of the north of South America, far beyond Colombia's borders. The United Nations Security Council concluded a civilian peace mission in Colombia in September 2016. Weapons were collected at 35 sites across the country, and former FARC fighters were resettled. United Nations observers monitored the peace agreements in the camps. Numerous international experts were needed to implement such mission. After the start of the mission, it quickly became clear that there was a lack of necessary communication and information technology. The UN asked Germany for help.
3-4 days later, I was getting the first feedback from THW on this particular case. And then they immediately started getting in contact, and just a few days later, also I got the first group of people here who made the assessment.
The assessment team determined on site which experts were needed to assist. A few days later, the first volunteers of the German Federal Agency for Technical Relief came to Colombia to begin their important work. Individual specialists went into the camps to build systems up. Afterwards, in Bogotá, many other preparatory tasks were taken on, such as programming a total of 600 laptops or programming a total of about 1,000 radios, which were needed as support in the individual camps. For around 40% of the total of more than 56 volunteer staff, the Colombian mission represented their first international deployment. Qualification for working with the United Nations was achieved through THW trainings, but other skills were needed as well. Professional know-how is in high demand in these situations. We can deploy them here into a structure where experienced specialists from the UN or THW are assigned to work with them, allowing them to gain optimal operational experience. Qualified experts are necessary to be able to react to a variety of deployment scenarios. THW demonstrated flexibility and speed by quickly deploying necessary resources where they were needed. The German Federal Agency for Technical Relief jumped in to support the UN at the time when the UN, in cooperation with the state of Colombia, was not able to progress along the planned timeline, as the government of Colombia was not able to deliver the necessary support in time. The UN peacekeeping mission in Colombia was a civilian mission. None of the nearly 1,000 UN personnel were armed. Due to its mountain ranges, its infrastructure, and the political situation, Colombia proved a difficult country for a UN mission deployment. At the beginning of the mission, communication between UN locations was hardly possible.
For various reasons, between, like I said, for sending work reports, verification and monitoring reports that we do on a daily basis.
In just 3 weeks, THW laid the foundation for the United Nations to have the necessary communication and information technology infrastructure. The rifles, pistols and grenade launchers collected by the United Nations had to be destroyed, an important aspect of the peace treaty. THW field workers carried out the destruction of almost 9,000 weapons. Our flexibility and speed showed the UN that we quickly accomplish tasks that usually take months or even a year to implement. It also demonstrated that we have the ability to quickly respond to and cover a diverse spectrum of needs. THW can continue to meet international demands for more civilian peace operations in the future and thus provide aid in the name of Germany worldwide.
We have a huge support in the whole project for the THW because in a very short time they can accomplish it.
Following the first peacekeeping mission, the UN Security Council adopted a follow-up mission to Colombia. The verification mission started in September 2017 and aims to monitor the reintegration of FARC rebels and the reconstruction of civilian institutions in the former combat zones.